Welcome to Real Reviews. This week's reviews are brought to you by thefilmgordon.com. Experience film through the eyes of a true film addict. I am Tim Gordon, editor of thefilmgordon.com, and on this show we discuss my views of upcoming films. You can read or listen to past reviews on thefilmgordon.com. This week we're reviewing several films that screened at the Middleburg Film Festival. And up next is one of my favorites, Sylvie's Love, which was a drama film written, directed, and produced by Eugene Ashe. And in the film, Sylvie has a summer romance with the saxophonist who takes a summer job at her father's record store in Harlem. When they reconnect years later, they discover that their feelings for each other have not faded with the years. The film stars Tessa Thompson, Nnamdi Asomugha, Ryan Michelle Bathe, Regé-Jean, Asia Naomi King, and Eva Longoria. Now, this film, which world premiered at Sundance, is yet another independent film that aired at that festival that is now on the festival circuit as we are in the midst of the most unpredictable cinema year that we've had in generations. And this story is the second really strong love story that 2020 has produced. If you remember earlier in February, we had The Photograph. A lot of people always reference films like Love Jones and other kind of romantic films, but I think this one comes with a twist. Now, let me set the story up by telling you that the film takes place in 1957 in Harlem. So we're talking about a period drama. And Tessa Thompson, as I said, stars as Sylvie, who is a woman who aspires, even during that time, to be in the world of television, despite the fact that she has no role model or anyone to look to. But she really is fascinated with television. She works in a record store, but TV is really, she works in the record store because she doesn't have a television set of her own, and her father allows her to work in the shop so she can watch her favorite shows, and sell records simultaneously. One day, a young man comes in the store. There's instant connection. The young man, of course, is played by Nnamdi Asomugha, and there's instant connection. The two have a summer fling, and then he is a saxophonist, and he is all for a gig. And he leaves her, and the two don't see one another for like the next 4 or 5 years. So the film, which is told in an order, which I love the structure of what Ashe, the director and writer, Eugene Ashe, has done with this film, starts the film off really in their reconnect point, but then he takes us back to show us how we get to that point. And then the film, once it reaches the point that it begins with, takes us even further into their love story. I will just say that almost everything that they work with and try in this film, all the various elements work splendidly. It's a period piece, so I'm not sure exactly where the film is filmed, but they capture the look of Harlem in the late 50s, early 1960s. So you see the cars, you have the sense of the neighborhood. The costumes and the clothes in this film are immaculate and very on point with the period. The costumes that Tessa Thompson wears in this film are absolutely fantastic. She looks like a queen. The other thing that I loved about it, and the music with it as well, it is very faithful to that kind of doo-wop era, and a lot of the songs I was familiar with. It's a film, honestly, that my father, who mentored me in film, if he were still here, this would be a film that I would call him up immediately and go, "Dad, you got to check this out because this is your movie right here." The other thing I loved about this romance that we see in this film is that despite the fact that the parents, which are in this film, one parent, her father, which is played by the gentleman from The Wire, and I need to get his name as well. And I apologize in advance for not having it, but the father in this film is really down to earth, while his wife is kind of a woman who grew up in a Jack and Jill household and she is very sophisticated and wants her daughter to kind of find a man in her station. She looks at her, you know, this prospective lover as someone who is beneath her, yet Tessa Thompson's character, Sylvie, marches on because she kind of knows what her heart is telling her. The other thing that's really interesting about the screenplay and the way Eugene Ashe writes it is that she has a cousin, a good friend, which is played by Ryan Michelle Bathe, who is there to compliment. I'm sorry, not played by Ryan Michelle Bathe, but played by Asian Naomi King, who is there to uplift her. The two have kinds of intimate conversations, and she is always there to inspire her friend while she's off doing her civil rights work. Much later in the film, Ryan Michelle Bathe plays a television producer who's looking for an assistant and interviews Sylvie, and the two connect, and there's a job opportunity there that gives her her dream to work in television. But this film, I thought, just had a love story that wouldn't stop. The chemistry between Tessa Thompson and Nnamdi Asomugha was off the charts. They were really, really good together. And much like I referenced Love Jones and The Photograph, and you know, you can go back and reference Claudine and several other you know, love stories of this ilk. This one to me felt so authentic because A, is something that we traditionally don't see when you see these sort of period films. It's also told in a very melodramatic way. If you think about films like from Douglas Sirk, you know, these kind of really kind of sweeping, epic love stories. You know, you think of The Magnificent Obsession, Affair to Remember, and then most recently, Far From Heaven. That sort of style that the film is told in. Again, that movie really, really worked for me. As I said at the top, it was one of my favorite films at the Middleburg Film Fest, and it will be in theaters, or I think theaters and on streaming services with Amazon Prime on December 25th. So this is a Christmas release, which I think is absolutely perfect over the holidays, that people will get an opportunity to experience Sylvie's love. This movie, I liked it a lot. I gave this movie an A. There was not much fault that I could find with this story. And as soon as it was over, I had an opportunity to rescreen it again because I wanted to make sure that the way I felt about it the first time is what I felt. Really, really strong film. Love, love, love Tessa Thompson and almost everything she does. Nnamdi Asomugha, from Crown Heights to this, that brother's on the come up as an actor. Please check out Sylvie's Love one more time, an A for this film. And as I tell you guys in closing every week, please see something good at the movies. You gotta wait a couple of months, but trust me, it's gonna be worth it to take place and check out Sylvie's Love. Until we see you on the next time, on the other side, you guys take care, and we'll talk to you soon.